Alright, what is going on everyone? It's Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video, and today we have another Q&A. I always love doing these, answering your questions, so if you have a question that you want to ask me for a future Q&A, write it down in the comment section. I do have a ton of questions still backlogged, so forgive me if I don't get to your question. Maybe until like 2 or 3 other future Q&A videos, but I have a lot backlogged. But here we go. I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can. Last time I only got a few done because I love to talk about questions and the subject that you guys asked me. So first question is just a general question that people ask me and I want to answer. So people ask me, what do I like more, Mortal Kombat X or Injustice 2, or what game I like more? It's very early on in Injustice 2 and things change over time. So at the moment, I definitely like Mortal Kombat X a lot more. Just because it's more fun to play, it's more fast-paced. But that doesn't mean that Injustice 2 is not fun or, fast-paced. It just depends on what character you're playing. Same thing with any fighting game. There's always zoning characters. There's always rushdown characters. For example, right here, I believe, am I using Cheetah? Let's see. Yeah, I'm using Cheetah. So Cheetah's a complete rushdown character. She's a lot of fun to play. And then there's other characters like Dr. Fate who, pretty much excel at zoning. That's just the case with every fighting game. It just depends on how, frustrating the matchup is. But as far as, just the fun factor, I remember when I first started getting into Mortal Kombat X, coming back after not playing fighting games for a long time, I did not want to put the game down. I would just play until, until I couldn't anymore. And maybe it was just because it was my first fighting game that I took seriously in a very long time. But that hasn't been the case too much with Injustice 2. I do love playing it and I have fun, but compared to the fun I had in Mortal Kombat X, it doesn't come close, at least for me. So I hope that answers the question. Like I said, it doesn't mean that I hate Injustice 2 or Injustice 2 is not fun to play. It is very, very fun. There's so much to do in the game. But compared to Mortal Kombat X, just for me personally, I love the Mortal Kombat franchise. And Mortal Kombat X was so good. And it's a lot of fun. I still think about playing it now. So I think there's another question here about Mortal Kombat X. Well, I'll just answer it anyway. A lot of people ask me, is there going to be more Mortal Kombat X videos? And the answer is yes. You guys should definitely expect more. I've already uploaded a couple of MKX videos not too long ago. But the thing is that I'm not going to be like recording or taking my time to record a lot of Mortal Kombat X videos. It's not going to be the case until maybe later on. Maybe when we start getting some information if there's going to be a Mortal Kombat 11, maybe around there I'll start uploading like a ton like I used to. But definitely expect a couple of Mortal Kombat videos, maybe a couple times a month. I think I've uploaded 3 videos in the last month, somewhere around there. Definitely expect a little more. I just had to get time to play the game because there's still people playing ranked. And of course, streaming it is the best case scenario because I get people who, are watching my videos and I get to play with you guys, the viewers. So that's a lot of fun. So expect MKX videos in the future. It's just focus is still on Injustice 2 because it is a brand new game. Alright, so let's move on to an actual question here from James. Would you prefer Spawn as DLC for Injustice 2 or the next Mortal Kombat game? That is a really good question. So if this was a couple months ago, I would have told you Injustice 2 just because I really, really want to play Spawn. But the more time went on, the more I realized that Spawn, of course, would fit so much better in a Mortal Kombat game. He would make a lot more sense as far as how violent he is and how much potential he has for fatalities, brutalities, if they bring those back in a Mortal Kombat game. It's just too much of a good thing to not have in a Mortal Kombat game. So as much as I would love Spawn in Injustice, and trust me, I would be really, really happy if he somehow made it as a DLC character in Injustice 2, I would much rather have him in a Mortal Kombat game. And I'm sure that, 95% of you guys will probably agree with me. Alright, so moving on here. Ermin asks, hey, super huge fan of your videos and playstyle, thank you. So as far as I'm concerned, the MKX characters you had the most fun with are Aaron Black, Predator, and Jason. Jason, not so much, but definitely Aaron Black and Predator were my two most favorite characters to play. You can already say, or can you already say, who are the most fun characters in Injustice 2 for you to play, if it's not too early? I don't think it's too early. I think we're about 2 months into the game. The most fun characters for me to play are Joker, Batman. Flash is really fun to play. I think he's still pretty hard to win with, just because, you know, he's so stumpy, and, you know, just, you have to put a ton of time into Flash to be really good with him. I think Swamp Thing is a lot of fun, but for me, like, the most fun character for me to play is Joker. I just love Joker as a character, so having the chance to play as Joker and having the chattering teeth setups with the traps, I think Joker is the most fun character for me to play at the moment, and he's only going to get better in the future. So I think he might stay as my #1 most fun character, but we'll see. You know, maybe DLC characters down the road change my mind. Of course, Sub-Zero just came out, and he is a lot of fun, and his gear makes him even better. Because at least to me, like, just personally, this is my preference, but if a character is visually pleasing on the eyes, like, you know, he looks awesome, he looks cool, it makes the experience playing that character much better. That's why, like, I don't have any interest in playing like Cyborg or Green Arrow, because, like, at least now they don't look too cool to me, so I'm not really gonna be having fun playing those characters, even if their playstyles might be fun. I don't know, this is just me, of course. That's why I always fell in love with, you know, characters, the X-Men characters like Magneto, Wolverine, Psylocke. These characters look awesome, right? So it was very easy to just try to pick them up and learn how to play with these characters. Same thing with, you know, with the Flash. He has some of the best gear in the game, so it's visually pleasing to me. But the Joker, to answer your question, the Joker is definitely the most fun that I have playing Injustice 2. Moving on to the next question, it comes from Dr. Dank, and he asks, what was your first fighting game, and how long did it take you to get so good at them? Well, I think it definitely takes a really long time, and you have to play a lot to actually get decent or good at fighting games, because fighting games is one of those things where you're gonna take an ass beating first, but if you keep putting in the work and putting in the time and, you know, just keep practicing and playing, it's gonna reward you in the future. So getting good at fighting games, in my opinion, takes a really long time. And once you get a basic understanding of how to play fighting games and you put in that time to understand that and get good at maybe even one specific fighting game, the rest are going to come a lot easier to you than if you were to just have gone into it blind without not playing any fighting games. I hope that makes sense, but once you understand how to play fighting games, learning a new fighting game that you might never have played definitely is a lot easier than if you wouldn't put that time into your specific fighting game that you're good at. So for example, like MVCI and the Dragon Ball FighterZ game, even though those games, you know, especially Marvel, I haven't played Marvel too much in a long time, since Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think I'll learn the games pretty quick just because I put in the time with Injustice and Mortal Kombat X. And to answer your other question, my first fighting game was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I fell in love with Mortal Kombat after watching the movie, the first Mortal Kombat movie, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was in the arcades, so I played that a lot. And I also played Mortal Kombat Trilogy, was pretty much like my favorite game growing up because it had all these different characters, and it even included boss characters, and of course it was available on PlayStation 1. So Trilogy is where I really fell in love with the Mortal Kombat franchise. Like, I knew about Sub-Zero, I knew about all these Mortal Kombat characters, but when I saw like the original Mortal Kombat movie, I was like, damn, these characters are so awesome. And then I started playing UMK3, and then that made me fall in love with the characters even more. But once I like touched Mortal Kombat Trilogy, is like a spark went off, because MK Trilogy, in my opinion, is it probably has, not probably, I think 100% has the greatest roster in Mortal Kombat history. Forget Armageddon. You know, I know that character roster is gigantic, but just straight classic characters that people enjoy, that are fan favorites. I think Mortal Kombat Trilogy has the best roster of all time. So that was that's where I fell in love with fighting games right there. And like I said, UMK3, first fighting game. Let's see. Kat asks, what does the Darth mean in your name? That's actually a really good question. I don't get that. I don't get asked that too much, but now that I've been playing a little bit more Xbox One because of Sub-Zero, I've been getting a little bit more. So Darth is pretty much a Call of Duty sniping clan that I used to be a part of back when I would play Call of Duty. And if you guys don't know, if you guys might be new to my channel, Call of Duty was the main source of content on my channel for 5 straight years. So the reason why I started my YouTube channel is to upload Call of Duty videos. And this team, their name is Darth Empire. I got recruited to that team back in like 2012, and I pretty much stayed a part of the team for a very long time until I moved to another sniping clan called Soar, and then another sniping clan called Red, which a lot of you guys probably recognize me for. I get asked that a lot more than, you know, the Darth. Like, were you in Red and all that? Still pretty popular team in the, you know, in the Call of Duty community. So I was a part of that for about a year, and then I returned to Darth. And after I like came back to Darth, I was like not really into Call of Duty that much anymore. We started getting the futuristic Call of Duties flying around all over the place. Wasn't really my thing, and that's when I started uploading Mortal Kombat videos back in 2015, and it's pretty much history from there. So Darth is a Call of Duty sniping team called Darth Empire, and that's why my name is Darth Super, and I never changed it from my Xbox account. I don't know why. I don't know. I just wanted to leave it there, maybe as a little legacy, you know, to Darth. Just leave my name as Darth Super. It's all good. So that's why my name is Darth Super on Xbox One. Moving on now to probably the last question I've gotten through. Let's see. I've gotten through a little bit more than before. I'm proud of myself. Let's see. Okay. I think I have time for 2 more. Jay asks, which character traits do you think is the best? What a coincidence. We're actually watching the character who I think has the best trait in Injustice 2. And of course, I'm not talking about Vixen. I'm talking about Atrocitus. I think Dexter provides so much fear into the opponent that it's ridiculous. Like, Atrocitus is a good character. He is a good character. His napalm vomit is amazing. Has 0 recovery, guys. 0. That means you cannot whiff punish it. And it does a ton of chip damage, or it does a ton of damage over time in combos. It's safe on block. It has a crazy huge hitbox where it's like invisible where it hits you. He's a good character, but when Dexter comes out, oh my god, he becomes like the best character in the game with Dexter for that amount of time. Like, Dexter could do so much for Atrocitus that it's pretty ridiculous. Another contender, of course, is Batman's mechanical bats. Like, that trait is so good, man. So good, because you don't even need to have all 3 bats out. You could have 1 bat out and your other 2 mechanical bats are recharging. So you could pretty much always have at least 1 bat out with Batman. And the beautiful thing about the mechanical bats is you could use the bats to punish something that's very, very hard to punish, because if your opponent does a specific move, you call it in the bats instead of trying to punish it yourself. You call in the mechanical bats and they take care of the hits, and the mechanical bats have so much hit stun that you could just jump in and get a free combo. So Batman's right up there as well, and Atrocitus. I'm sure there's other traits that are really good as well, but those are the ones that come into my head. So that's actually going to be the end of today's video. Didn't have time for the other question, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys subscribed if you are not already. Also, check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.